Hi, welcome, and we have Akwasi Frimpong. I hope I got the name right. He's the
Yeah,
first.
you did a good job.
He's the first and only Ghanaian who is representing Ghana for the Winter Olympics 2018, and he's going for the what do you call it? What do you call the
Skeleton.
the what? The skeleton.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's going for the skeleton. So we are going to go into his story. He has a very fascinating story, which I would like, you guys to get on with, get to know more about Akwasi, who came into Europe, specifically Netherlands, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you came to Netherlands as a child and had to go through immigration issues, and then he somehow found his way into his talents, and now he is making Ghana and Africa proud in this year's Winter Olympics. So some of you have sent in some questions for me to ask Akwasi, but we need to know, who is Akwasi in the first place? Who are you? Who are you, man? How did you get there?
Well, okay, my name is Akwasi Frimpong. I was born in Ghana, in a beautiful city called Kumasi. And my mom is a gospel singer. Her name is Esther Amwako, a well-known Ghanaian gospel singer. And in 1989, my mom left Europe left Ghana to go to Europe for a better living education for our family. So we joined her in 1995 when I was 8 years old. So we joined her in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and that's where I discovered track and field. But before that, I was 13 years illegal in the Netherlands. The government did not want to grant us our papers, even though we earned it, because 13 years later, they found out they had made a lot of mistakes. But in the meantime, I was doing sports, and I did track and field, where I won my first gold medal at the age of 17 as a youth on the 200-meter sprint. And I was able to represent the Netherlands in a lot of great competition internationally, but I wasn't able to because I was an illegal immigrant. I broke a little bit of my ankle, a bone in my ankle, and no doctor wanted to help me because I didn't have insurance. So it was really a tough thing. I still have internal scars of how I was treated by the government in the Netherlands. And also, my youth was taken away from me. But I still never gave up. I was able to get a scholarship in the USA as a runner and as an athlete, but also because of my education, because I did well in school. So I moved to Utah, to Salt Lake City. And that's where I'm calling from right now, actually. I'm in Salt Lake City as we talk. And here I did track and field as well. And I went to school. I did marketing with a minor in business management at the university here. And in 2012, I had a great opportunity to represent the Netherlands in the Summer Olympics as a track and field athlete. But because of a tendon injury, I wasn't able to. And then in 2013, I was recruited to try bobsled, which is also a winter sport as well. We have the great Nigerians doing that now as well. And that didn't work out. In 2014, I missed the Olympics again for the second time. But I stayed persistent. I kept my head above water, and it was my dream and my goal to make the Olympics. So after 15 years dreaming of the Olympics, now finally I'm there to represent my country, Ghana.
Wow, that's a remarkable story. Come on, how did you realize that you had that talent? At what point did you realize that, hey, I can do this thing?
Well, first of all, I didn't know that, but my coach, who was a Dutch coach, told me that skeleton would be a great fit for me because the first 50 meters in our sport, you have to push the sled really fast. So you have to have speed. And then you dive on it, and then you have to navigate through an ice channel about 1,600 meters long, with your chin only about 7 centimeters from the ice. So that part, I didn't know that I had talent, but I had talent to push the sled really fast. So I'm now learning more the sliding part. So about a year and a half ago, I started the Ghana Bobsled and Skeleton Federation.
Okay. Now, but before the coach came in, that means you would have been practicing before, isn't it? So how did you start practicing? Who introduced you to the game? How were you introduced to the game?
Yeah, so because I was recruited by the Dutch bobsled team, which is also an ice sport as well, where you have 2 guys or 4 guys in a sled that goes really hard down. I was recruited to do that after 2012. The same coach who said, hey, I know you didn't make it to the Summer Olympics, but I think you'd be a great fit for the bobsled because you have to push the sled fast. So she recruited me, and then I tried out. I did some training with them, and I made a team. That's how I kind of started getting into it. And I took a break after 2014 when I missed the Sochi Winter Olympic Games. I took like 2-3 year break. And the same coach contacted me and said, I think you should do skeleton. Oh. And because it's an individual sport, it's more fitted to me. I have my own life in control. And so then what I did is I went to Park City here in Utah. They have an ice track here. And and I tried it out and I loved it. It was really scary in the beginning because you're going 140 kilometers per hour with your head first. It was very scary, but that's how I started slowly practicing it.
So that means there are other sports that you do as well. Which one is that?
Yeah, so basically for the training I do running, weightlifting, and learning how to push the sled. That's how I do training. So people can do that in Ghana, in Africa, for the 6 months, 7 months in the summer. And then in the winter, I go on ice, and then I put it all together and do it on ice.
You know, there's a question I asked you earlier, which I think you skipped it. Like, at what point, because there's somebody, I think somebody sent that question as well. At what point did you realize that you can actually do sports before you went into skeleton or any other form of sports? You know, then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very, very good question. So actually, that was a really good one because when I was 15 years old in the Netherlands, I was recruited by Sami Monsels, who is a Surinamese guy who lives.
Sorry, why did he recruit you?
He recruited me at the junior high school when he saw me running at the track and field event for my school. We were just doing sports day.
Oh.
You know, just the junior high school, we just did sports day, and he saw me going really fast because one of my teammates lost the baton on the floor, and we were behind 40 meters, and I took the baton and I chased and I closed the 40-meter gap, and I won. So he said, this guy's very talented. So he recruited me, but I did not want to run because I'm from Africa. I always wanted to do soccer. So I don't want to run. But that point, a couple months later, there was a friend of mine that lived in the Netherlands in our neighborhood. He showed me a medal that he had won at the competition. And I saw that and I was like, man, I don't have any trophy in my closet. I don't have any medals. I want to know what it feels like to win. So because I saw that medal, I joined my coach club, and that's how it all started.
That's amazing. You see, so that's the story. This is the story, the backstory that is most much more important that everybody wants to hear. How did this start? How do your mom feel now?
Well, they're really blessed and they are grateful for me being able to achieve my goals and dreams. You know, I have Ghanaian parents. They are really quiet. They are chill. You know, the most important thing, you know, even when they heard I'm qualified, they said, thank God. You know, that's all they say, you know, because they have seen us go through a lot of struggle, being illegal immigrants, not having enough food on the table, not having money to pay lawyers. They have struggled a lot. So now that they can see me accomplish my dream and goal, you know, they're delighted, that they're really grateful, and they're really happy for me.
Thank God. Now, during the course of preparing for this Olympics now, what has been the most challenging decision that you've had to take?
There's been a few of them. Obviously, a black guy on ice is not very common. And, you know, definitely not in the sport of skeleton, because I am the first one ever male skeleton athlete from the whole world that's qualifying for the Olympics. So that's a challenge, because then people seem like you don't belong here. That's one thing. Financially, was tough in the beginning as well, because I have to travel a lot around the world to be able to compete. And luckily, I have a sponsor who came in a couple months ago, Coco from Ghana, to support me. So that went really well. Another thing too is to leave my family behind as well. I sacrificed a lot, because my wife in the beginning, when I started, had to work 2 jobs while she was pregnant for me to be able to train and compete and qualify for the Olympics. So I would say sacrificing your family, the financial part was a tough thing. And also people, you know, the unknown, people just being scared of something they don't know.
Now, how do you feel between, you know, you now you live in the Netherlands and you're competing for Ghana. How do you feel? How does it feel? Does it feel any strange that you're competing for your home country, not where you're resident?